Hello, my wonderful students. We are going to start a new unit on elements of drama. And when I say drama, I basically mean a play. It is the same thing. When I say drama, play, it means the same thing. So we're going to learn what a play consists of. So let's go ahead and get started. Everybody should have the handout in front of them. You're going to be taking notes. So as you can see on the slides that have a little pencil, that means those are the slides that you need to copy. So if there's information on the slide and it has a pencil, I need to see you writing because that is important stuff that you need to write. There might be some slides that don't have a pencil that I just want to talk about. So if you see the little pencil, make sure to pause the video so that you can take your notes. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. So let's start off by saying what is drama or a play. So I know that the first title on your handout says play, but go ahead and write these notes under the first label, which is play. So drama or a play is a story enacted on stage for a live audience. So anytime that we have a play, it is because it's supposed to be enacted by an audience. Maybe we can just read it, and if we don't have a stage, we don't have to necessarily act it out. But we can just read the play pretending that there would be an audience listening. So our dramatic structure, this one you do not have to copy. Remember, anytime that I'm going too fast, go ahead and stop me so that you can take your notes. Dramatic structure, like a story, characters face a problem or conflict. So just as any of the stories that we've been reading, a play and drama usually has the same form of storyline, kind of like our plot, right? Our plot diagram, our exposition, characters and conflict are introduced. Our rising action, complications, tension starts to build up. So this is your problem that starts coming up. Remember, the high point is your climax, the point of highest tension. Action determines how the conflict will be resolved. So this is where everything changed. Remember, that's our OMG moment. Resolution is our conflict is resolved and the play ends. So if you read a play, it pretty much has a storyline. It's almost the same as just reading a story. It's just meant to be acted out. So this slide, you don't have to copy anything. Okay, so let's move on. The next one, also, you don't have to copy. There is no pencil here. Important. Drama is written to be acted. Drama is not written to be read. So we're going to be reading a play in class pretty soon, and you need to read as if you're acting as an actor, right? So that it could be entertaining because a play is not boring. It's not a boring story. It's something that you want people to see that you're acting out. Stage direction. So this is the next title on your copy, on your page that you're supposed to copy. So stage directions are an instruction in the play which indicates the movement of position, tone, sound effects, and lighting. So go ahead and write all of this down. An instruction in the play indicates the movement of position, tone, sound effects, and lighting. And you'll get to see an example next up, and it's pretty much just like where there's parentheses or brackets, and that's what tells you what the people on the stage are doing. Okay, let's look at an example. Remember, if you need to pause, you can go ahead and pause so that you get all of your notes written out. So here's an example of stage directions. As you can see, Katie is the actor. This is what Katie is supposed to be saying, but in parentheses, it says amused. So that is the stage direction. So how is Katie supposed to look? She's supposed to have an amused look on her face. So as an actor, when you're reading this, you look at to see what's in parentheses and you say, oh, you know what? I need to look amused right here. So that helps the actor, the reader, understand what things they're supposed to be doing. And if you notice down here, again, Katie, this is okay, enjoy. I think I'll be awake for a little while. So this is what she says. And then her stage directions of what she's supposed to be doing on stage says she starts out, then turns in the doorway as something else strikes her. So she's starting out, right? That means she's heading out of the room. She turns in the doorway and something else strikes her. This is what she's supposed to be doing on stage. That's why they're called stage directions. They tell you what you should be doing. Here is our next slide for you to copy. So go ahead and copy this. And this is a scene. So a scene is pretty much a subdivision in a play. It's a short part of the play. So you can have acts in a play, and then each act is broken up into scenes. So say scene 1, scene 2, and it's just like the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? It's just breaking up into different parts so that the actors know when they're supposed to head out and change right before the next scene. So go ahead and copy this in your notes. Script. Another one for you to copy. The script is the written version of a play, what actors read to practice for the play. So the script is basically the play, but it's written out for them to read. So if we read a play in class, it is called the script, right? Because we're not actually acting it out, we're just reading it. So we're just reading the script out loud. So remember, the script is the written version of a play. Props. Props is an object used on stage or on screen by actors during a performance. Anything movable or portable on a stage or a set. So props are basically like the costumes that they wear. If there's a book in the play that they're supposed to be carrying, that would be considered a prop. If you look at this picture right here, you see the stage and how they have stairs, they have curtains. Those are all called props. So basically any objects that they're using in the play, if they're using a hat, if they're using a wagon, a car made out of cardboard, then that would be considered a prop. So go ahead and copy this in your notes. And I don't have a lot of time to record, so just pause me and go ahead and write this down in your notes. You can pause. Let's go on. Playwright. A playwright is someone who writes plays. So what is it called when somebody writes a book? Can you think about it? Tell me. Okay, don't say it because then you'll be talking to a computer, right? But think about it in your head. It's called an author, right? So in a play, instead of being an author who writes the play, it is called playwright. So that person who writes it, he or she is the playwright. So a playwright is someone who writes plays. Remember, it's not called an author like we usually do for books. This person is called the playwright. And then there are different forms of communication throughout a play. So the first type of communication you can have is dialogue. And this is basically conversation between two or more people. And as you see these two men right here, say this is a stage and they're doing a play. This is the dialogue. This is a conversation that they're having. Okay, so usually in a play, there's a lot of dialogue, right? Because characters and actors are talking to each other. Here's an example showing dialogue. So Dan is saying, Jim, how's life treating you, man? And Jim says, treating me rough, to be honest. I just got married. Dan, married? But that's super. Jim, super. Sure, it is super expensive. I had to sell my Mustang to pay the priest. So anything that is underlined here is what they're supposed to be saying. I read it with the name, right? But if we have two people reading it, they wouldn't say each other's name right here. They would just say, Jim, how's life treating you, man? Treating me rough, to be honest. I just got married. So this is just for them to know who is talking, but they're not going to say Dan and they're not going to say Jim. That just shows us who the actor is. Okay? The next one is a monologue. A monologue is a long speech by one actor in a play or movie. Other characters can hear him. So usually a monologue is just when one person's up there talking, and the rest of the crowd and the characters can hear him, but they don't really have a part in it. It's just his or her long speech. Remember to copy this down, please. This one, from now on, I think that was your last note for you to copy, so just go ahead and listen. A chorus is a group on stage commenting on characters and actions. So a chorus is when the group of people say everything at once. So if you see something that says chorus, that just means everybody talks at the same time. And then there's different types of dramas or plays, in which it could be comedy. Comedy is a play that ends happily. Usually it's plot centers on a romantic conflict. An example, boy meets girl, boy loses girl, and boy wins girl. Tragedy is another example. A tragedy is a play that ends unhappily. And that is all, folks. Go ahead and finish up your notes. Go back and rewind me. You can pause so that you can finish up your notes. Once you're done, I want you to fold your notes in half. horizontally, fold them in half, and glue them into your ISN, please, and wait quietly while you wait